So what I'm going to show you today is some hip strengthening exercises. These are designed specifically for a client right now who is coming in with some abductor hip weakness, but in all general, just some generalized hip weakness and a little bit of hip tenderness and pain when trying to push it a little bit, longer, faster walks, running, things like that. So this is just a routine, a single routine that I'm putting up for you to follow, for anybody to follow. Again, this was designed specifically with a patient in mind. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start with a routine of hip abduction. If you have ankle weights, you can put those on. What we're going to do is hip abduction is just standing and balancing on one leg, lifting that leg to the side. I would go ahead and do 3 sets of 15. If you want to add a weight, put on whatever weight you can handle. You're going to do both sides obviously there. And again, 3 sets of 15 for standing hip abduction. Second exercise is step-ups. If you have the ankle weights, leave them on. Step-ups, I have a 10-inch step in front of me. What I'm going to do is place my right foot on the step, hands on the hips. We're going to pick that left knee up into the air, back down to the floor. Nice, slow, steady, and controlled movements. So again, 3 sets of 15 per leg. So, step-ups. Next one, we're going to go into cable weights. If you don't have a cable, you can use a TheraBand. You're going to tie the TheraBand around your ankle. I just happen to have the cable weights, so we're going to utilize those. We're going to start first with standing hip flexion, and then we'll go into adduction and extension. So standing hip flexion. I'm balancing on my left leg, keeping both knees locked, stiff. Balancing on the left leg. Lift that right leg forward and back down to neutral. Try not to let that body move at all. After 15, face the opposite direction, so you're turning to the right. We're going to pull that ankle in to the other foot. 15. Then we're going to face the machine. We're going to let that weight, pulling the leg back to neutral 15 times. After I'm done with that, I would then switch legs and go ahead and repeat. For this exercise, go ahead and knock out 2 sets of 15 with each leg. So now we're going to go over to the table. We're going to go ahead and do some single leg ball bridges. Single leg ball bridge. You're going to put one leg on the ball that you're exercising. The other leg is in the air. Hands on the table for balance. So we'll start first by knocking out 15 single leg ball bridges. When the bottom comes down, don't let it rest on the table. Go up as high as you can. After 15, switch. And we're going to do 15 there. Okay? After that, we're going to go into sideline planks. Planks aren't just for the core, they're for those hip abductors. So I want your elbow underneath your shoulder, your legs straight. Your back extended. We're going to come up. That's neutral. What you're going to do is lift that hip higher. Come back to neutral. 2, 3, 4. After 15 of those, switch sides, do the other. We're going to go into working hip flexor, the front of the hip. These are called bows and toes. You're going to line your elbows, tuck your toes under. Make sure you have some sneakers on so you don't hurt your toes. What you're going to do is you're going to lift your pelvis up off the table. You're going to hold your back round. That's arched or sagging. I want it round. You're going to hold that position. You're going to lift one leg 10 times. After you're done with 10, go ahead and switch. Do the other 10. Again, maintaining a round back. Don't go into arching it. Taking you back. Single leg ball bridge. I'll show you with the left leg this time. This time you're going to keep the knee bent to 90 degrees. We're going to lift and lower that butt. Nice and slow, controlled, keeping that leg bent to 90 degrees. Okay? 15 times, switch to the other. You're done with those. Now we're going to go into the side planks again. These are a little different. Elbow again under the shoulder, leg straight, come up. You're going to maintain that. Now, instead of going up and down, you're going to lift the opposite leg, nice and slow. Try to keep that hip straight. 10 times. When you're done, Switch to the other side. I'm getting a little winded here. Okay, final one here on the table. We're going back to the bow and toe position. This time though, we're going to start with the rounded back again. Instead of lifting a leg, what we're going to do is step that leg out to the side, put the other one out, bring it back in, bring it back in. That's one. We're going to do 10 of these. Out to the side, back in, 2. 10 of those. Okay, now we're getting into the meat of the workout. We're going to go ahead and do some lunging. If these hurt your knees, pay attention to your posture. And if they still hurt your knees, then don't do them. So, I'm going to show you a couple alternatives. The alternative that I like to do first is step forward, lunge down, pop back up, that's 1. Pop back up, that's 2. Set of 15 of these. Then you would switch and do the other. Now, posture. Your knee that's in front. You should be squatting down with the right knee below. That knee's above the ankle. It's not in front of the foot. So that means you got to stay behind that knee when you do this exercise. You can also try, if that bothers your knees, an alternative would be march across a room, counting those so that you're getting a total of 15 per leg. Now we're going to go into side lunges. Start with the feet together, hands on your hips. What you're going to do is you're just going to fall out onto that right leg, push back up. The left knee stays straight. And again, 15 of these. Posture's up straight. Try not to lean forward. And again, switch. Now with the left. Okay? The final thing, we're going into some plyometric work. My client has a BOSU, therefore I'm going to show you using a BOSU. We're going to do 10 single hops. If you're younger, if you're more athletic, and you have the strength, you can build that number to whatever you want. This client, we're sticking to 10. So what you're going to do is you're going to hop off the right leg, onto the left, stick it, and then step back off. Off of the right, onto the left, stick it, back off. So we're doing 10 of these hops. Make sure it's far enough away that you're getting a hop and not too close that you're just stepping up. Okay, so then you would switch and do 10 with the other. And the last exercise, side hops. This is tricky. Be careful. If you have a small trampoline like what I have here, you can use that to hop onto. Otherwise, you use a BOSU. If you don't have either, you can just hop forward, but I would recommend that you land on a yoga pad or something that's a little softer for your knees. So, side lunge, or side hops. So I'm going to hop off the right, land on the left, step back down. 2, step back down. Again, after 10 of those, switch, land it, step back down. And that's it for a good hip workout routine. In that order, we build from easiest to hardest. And that's it.